Method, taken in the larger sense, implies a placing of several things or performing several operations in the most convenient order to obtain a desired goal. In logic, method is usually understood in a more limited sense. Method is a disposition and arranging of a variety of thoughts on any subject in the best order to find out unknown truths, to explain and confirm truths that are known, or to establish them in the memory. Natural method observes the order of nature, in that the knowledge we gain about things usually comes from the knowledge that we had before. Synthetic method begins with the parts and leads onward to the knowledge of the whole. It begins with the most simple principles and general truths, and proceeds by degrees to the conclusions that are drawn from them, or when those principles and truths are compounded. Synthetic method is generally used in teaching the sciences after they are invented. This way is also called the method of composition. For example, in grammar, we learn first to know letters, then we join them to make syllables, and out of syllables we compose words, and out of words we make sentences and discourses. Analytic method takes the compound as a whole and resolves it into its first principles or parts, its generic nature, and its special properties. Analytic method is most practiced in finding out things that are unknown. It is also called the method of resolution. For example, we are first acquainted with the whole body of an animal, and then by anatomy or dissection, we come to learn all the inward and outward parts of it. This is the analytic method. Another example, in Scripture, as Matthew and Luke both prove Christ to be the son of Abraham, but Luke shows his lineage by analysis, going from Christ to his ancestors. Matthew explains his lineage using the synthetic method, beginning from Abraham and showing that Christ is found among his posterity. When we have found out a truth by analysis, we use the synthetic method to explain and deliver it and prove it to be true. Analysis finds out causes by their effects. When we observe light, colors, motions, hardness, softness, and other properties and powers of bodies, we search out the cause of them. Analysis also finds out effects by their causes. When we consider such powers of motion as the wind, the fire, the water, etc., we can then invent different uses that they may be applied to, and what will be their effects, in order to make mills and engines of different types. Analysis finds out the general and special nature of a thing by considering the various attributes of the individuals and observing what is common and what is proper, what is accidental, and what is essential. Analysis helps find out the remaining properties or parts of a thing when we only know some of its parts or properties. The area of a triangle is found by knowing the height and the base. So when we know two sides and an angle of a triangle, we can find the remaining sides and angles. By first assigning the end that we wish to reach, analysis finds method and means necessary to obtain a purposed end. Arbitrary method leaves the order of nature and accommodates itself to many purposes, such as to treasure up things and retain them in the memory, to address and persuade mankind to any practice in the religious or civil life, or to delight, amuse, or entertain the mind. One good example of arbitrary method is history. Some divide history by the reigns of the different rulers, and list under them the different events that happened during their particular reign. Some divide history by every year, and list all the events that happened during those years. Some will divide history by wars and empires. Arbitrary method is useful for a variety of purposes.